Cha. Welcome back to Politics as Usual. My name is Eric Wright. This is Politics as Usual, where we bring you some new topics, information, things that's going on, current events, whether it's in the world, local, or national. We're going to bring it to you and let's talk about it, see what we think about a few things, and, put some things in perspective. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump it off. The first thing that I want to go over is there's a movie called 24, the 24th. If you ever saw this movie, you have to check it out. It's about a group of Buffalo soldiers, and they were stationed somewhere around the Houston area. And this was in time of conflict and war going on. But the headline reads like this. It says the Army Board of Corrections for the Military Records overturns a conviction. Now, they convicted 110 black Buffalo soldiers, which 19 of them were executed. The military had this statement. They said, after a thorough review, the board found that these soldiers were wrongfully treated because of their race and wasn't given a fair trial. By setting aside their convictions and granting honorable discharges, the Army is acknowledging the past mistakes and setting the record straight. This was said by Army Secretary Christine Wordmount. Um, Now, the Houston riots, if you're not familiar with it, the Houston riots happened about 1917. It was a big outbreak of violence that followed by months of like racist taunts against the black platoon and the black soldiers of the 3rd Battalion. And that was in the 24th Infantry Regiment of the Army, which they were coined the Buffalo Soldiers, given to them by um, the Native American and indigenous people around because they seen them and they um, called them that. But they're now absolved of what was said to be crimes. These people probably went through years of struggle and pain and things like that, being dishonorably discharged. Their kids didn't reap any of the benefits, no GI Bill, no access to higher education, no means of getting into farming and things like that, and government contracts. They were eliminated for this, and they have to go back to make these people whole, to indemnify them, put them in the place that they would have been in if this wouldn't happen to them. So we want to shout out to those families and those descendants because tell them to cut the check because y'all need it. Tell them to cut the check. But shout out to the Buffalo Soldiers, and that's a piece of our history. This recently happened Monday. Uh, this actually happened Monday of this year. So the Army is going back and setting things right. So we want to give a shout out to the Army for actually getting it right on this. It took a while, almost shit. 1917. It's over 100 years, man. Tough. It's politics as usual. It shouldn't take that long to right your wrongs. That's almost like reparations. It shouldn't take that long. You know something wrong happened. Cut the check. Let's go. Cut the check. Now, speaking of that, since we're talking about a little black history, whose responsibility is it to teach black history? Well, if you said everybody's, if you said it should be everybody's responsibility, you'd be correct. But if you said it was the schools, if you said it was the neighborhood, if you said it's the church, because we got to teach more than just the Bible at church. We actually got to teach our history too, you know. And I believe that is everybody's responsibility. But this is something that came up. Over 500 churches in Florida has just agreed to teach Black history at the church. This came after Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, signed the Stop Woke Act. Stop Woke. Damn, they know they would take any damn thing. Like the Stop Woke Act. They don't even know what woke is. Woke is aware, and we're aware to the bullshit. But shout out to the 500 churches that's in Florida that decided to take up where the schools and the government in Florida fell off. So shout out to them because it is our responsibility. It's our responsibility to teach it at home, teach it at home first, to teach it in our church, to teach it in any place that we are, and we should embody that Black history. So shout out to them, and make sure when you teaching them, don't just teach them about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Go ahead and add some Dr. Henry Clark in there, some Dr. Ben. You know, teach them about Noble Drew Ali and the Honorable um, Moses Garvey. Like teach them about some of those things too, to instill that certain self worth into our people. But shout out to the 500 churches that did that because it's all of our responsibility. Now, the last thing I want to get on is this. And I said this in a few episodes before about the new congressional district, District 2, that was just drawn up in the state of Alabama. I stated to you that now it would be possible, which it was virtually impossible previously, for a Democrat to win that seat, considering that the population played better to a Republican candidate, and which a Republican candidate continued to win. But now that it is a chance for a Democrat candidate to win this, you would think that we would all have a conversation and we would just want to make sure that the seat was attained by someone that was capable, and we can go ahead and get that extra vote in the House. Like we would think that that is the main goal, but sadly to say, it's a very crowded race. As of right now, it's 21 people, 21, 21 people have already qualified to run for the second congressional district. 21 people. Out of those 21 people, eight of them are Republican, including a guy that actually went to the NFL. He's actually running too. But 13 Democrats. 13. It wasn't even possible for a Democrat to win that seat, but now you have 13, and three or four of them are already state representatives or state senators or in certain kind of governmental capacity. It doesn't look good. Like if you're on the outside looking in, it doesn't look good. It looks like it's going to be a whole bunch of infighting when we actually have opportunity to rally behind certain candidates and actually pull more seats within the state, within local government. Like we have the opportunity to do that, but it seems like we're going to be doing a bunch of infighting until the primary election. So again, it's 21 candidates that are in this race, 21 of them, and eight of them are Republican, 13 are Democrats. If you know any of the candidates, I hope you guys do some soul searching to actually see. But for 13 candidates, that's a very crowded field, and that's a lot of votes for you guys to split up. So if it's about actually doing something helpful and helping the community and helping the second congressional district, you guys may want to narrow that down a bit. But hey, what do I know? I just ran for that seat also in 2014, and I know a lot of those people, and they see it the similar or the same, that it is way too many people running for that office, and hopefully you guys will figure that out. If you don't see through the bullshit, you always get fooled by it. Keep your head on the swivel.